I haven't finished a book since the 19th of August. I think it's safe to say I'm in a pretty bad reading slump. And look, reading slumps are normal. I've let myself be in this reading slump. I've given myself the time off reading. I've not made myself pick up a book when I didn't want to pick up a book. I have just left it be for a while. But it's been too long and I want to get back to loving reading because I feel like there is a hole in my life right now where reading was before. So I've decided it's time to take some action, pick the camera up and just get out of this reading slump. I'm going to take you back to where I first admitted to myself that I was in a reading slump and that I needed to do something to change it. I hope that you enjoy this video. If you're in a reading slump, let's get through this together. If you're not, then you can just enjoy my suffering and pain. You're welcome. Okay, I don't have loads of battery, but hopefully I have enough. It's Friday today and my plan was to finish work a bit early and have plenty of time for reading because yesterday I only got to page 52, so I did not do much reading. However, I did finish work a bit early and instead of reading I decided to go shopping with my sister and I did go to Waterstones. So I'll show you what I got from Waterstones and then we will talk about the book. I picked up Shield of Sparrows by Devoney Perry. I feel like I've seen such mixed things about this and it has intrigued me so much that I feel like I need to make up my own mind. I am a little bit concerned because it's a chunk of a book. It is huge. And also I'm really trying not to read new releases as they come out because I hate having to then wait for like the next book in the series. As in like I'm trying not to read new releases of fantasy books when they're the first book in the series. You get what I'm saying. So I might not pick this up anytime soon, but I don't know if I'll be able to resist. Let me know if you have read this and your thoughts on it. I have read two other Devoney Perry books. I read Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill. Indigo Ridge I really liked. Juniper Hill was okay, but I never felt inclined to finish the rest of that series. And I'm intrigued because as I said, I've seen some people absolutely love this book and some people say it is terrible. That has done nothing but intrigue me. So I'm not sure when I'm going to get around to it, but maybe you can convince me to read it sooner or later. And then the other book that I got is actually The Will of the Many by James Islington. And I mainly bought this for Ollie because he finished Red Rising and he has felt a little bit lost since he's finished it because he kind of has nothing else to read. He's read pretty much all of Brandon Sanderson. He's waiting for new books from Brandon Sanderson in the Cosmere, whatever it's called. He's waiting for the new Red Rising book and he wants something to read. And I actually put that on my story when I was doing a Q&A. And this one was actually suggested by Natalie as a option for him. She said Will of the Many or Sun Eater Saga. And I have heard of Will of the Many and actually one of his friends I think has recently listened to this book and fairly enjoyed it. And I believe that the second book in this series is coming out in the next couple of months. So when I was shopping, I decided to pick this up for him as a little treat. So hopefully he will start this soon and enjoy it. And honestly, if he thinks it's good, maybe I will read it. It says, at the elite Katinan Academy, a young fugitive uncovers a layered mysteries and world-changing secrets in this new fantasy series by internationally best-selling author of the Lycanus trilogy, James Islington. I think this is more of a epic fantasy than I would normally read, but I don't know if it's good. I could be convinced to read it, so we will see. Okay, now before I run out of battery to talk about The Blood Traitor. As I said, I only got 50 pages in yesterday. Honestly, I'm feeling a little bit slumpy. I just feel a little bit I feel like I'm getting really distracted when I'm reading, basically. And I don't know if that's just because I've got a lot going on in my head, like nothing bad at all, by the way, but I just feel like there's lots going on at the moment. Again, not in a bad way, nothing is wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like thinking a lot about a lot of different stuff. So I feel like I'm struggling to really just concentrate on reading. And yeah, I'm 50 pages in and so far not much has happened except for where I just got to. So where I left off, it feels like things are gonna get moving again, which is good because I'm pretty sure this book is not long, yeah, 430 pages, and we have a lot to conclude in this book. So I'm expecting this book is gonna be kind of full of action. The second book in this series was a little bit slow for me. I did feel like not much happened for the majority of the book. So I'm hoping that's not the case with this one. I hope that it doesn't just drag and then wrap up really quickly at the end. I want to see action throughout, but I feel like I have heard good things about this one. I'm intrigued to see where we go, and hopefully I can concentrate on this over the next few days. We have a bank holiday weekend this weekend, which is nice, although I do have plans pretty much all day on Sunday, and then also some plans on Monday as well. So I don't know how much time I'm actually going to have to concentrate on reading, getting a lot of reading done. It would be ideal if I could maybe have a big reading day tomorrow. So maybe that's what I'm going to try and do. Sorry, I feel like that was a rubbish update. I don't know why I even felt that I needed to come on here right now, because I literally have nothing useful to say about the book other than I started it yesterday. I'm 50 pages in. Things are now hopefully going to start happening. That is my summary. And hopefully I start to gain some more momentum with reading. Firstly, I apologise for my appearance. I had not planned on filming anything today. In fact, I have literally not filmed anything for a good month now, and that's because I just haven't been reading. I've been in the biggest reading slump of my life, maybe, for the past month. I feel like I'd felt it coming on earlier, but in the last month I just have not been able to read. But today I woke up and I decided it needs to end. I need to do something to get out of this reading slump. And I figured I would film it for you guys because I've not been filming anything, and also I feel like hopefully these videos are relatable, because reading slumps happen to everyone. At least I think they do. They definitely happen to me, and I know that they happen to a lot of people. So if this is you and you're going through a reading slump, or maybe you're not and you're having the time of your life reading right now, I'm very happy for you, but that is just not my reality, and I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. I don't know what it's going to contain. I don't know if I'm going to be out of a reading slump by the end of this video. But we are starting it deep in the trenches of a reading slump. And as I'm filming this, I've literally just been to the supermarket with my sister, and she picked up Alchemized and was very excited to read it. Obviously everybody is talking about it at the moment. It's just recently come out, and I was tempted to buy it, and then I just thought, what is the point? I'm in such a big reading slump. Is now the right time to try and read a 1,000+ page book? Probably not. I am actually currently in the middle of the third book in the Prison Healer trilogy, and I just need to put that book on pause because I love that series, and although I am kind of enjoying that book, I'm at the same time just not, because I'm in a reading slump and I just can't be bothered to read it. So that is kind of on hold, and honestly I need to stick to my kind of past strategies of things that have helped me get out of reading slumps previously, and that is by just reading what I'm in the mood to read, and especially rereading a book. I don't know why, but I just find that it really helps. But it can't be like an absolute favourite book. I can't be going and rereading Boys of Torment, because that will probably just put me deeper into a reading slump, because I'll be able to read those books because I absolutely love them. They are my favourite, but then everything else will just feel shit in comparison. So I am going to actually read The Score by Elle Kennedy, and I have only read this once before, and when I did I absolutely loved it. And I actually remember rereading The Deal a good few years ago when I was in another reading slump, and it really helped bring me out of my reading slump. So this is going to be the first step to getting out of the reading slump. I also feel like I've just been thinking about this series more recently, because obviously the Off-Campus series is being turned into a TV show, so I'm seeing lots about it on TikTok and stuff, and I just kind of feel like diving back into this world, and there's something comforting about knowing the couple already, knowing the story, having read it before, and there are certain scenes in this that live rent-free in my mind, and I'm excited to reread them, and hopefully I will be able to actually get some reading done today. We will see, because literally the most I've been able to read recently is a couple of pages at night, and I mean a couple of pages. I can't even read a whole chapter in one day. I'm just reading 2 pages before I fall asleep in bed. So without nattering on for any longer, let's get into this, and fingers crossed this is the start of me coming out of this hellish reading slump. I just realised I didn't say what this is about, but this is the third book in the off-campus series. It follows Ali and Dean, and the first book is The Deal. The second book is, what's it even called? The Mistake. I didn't really love that one, and that is not one that I'd choose to reread, and I don't even own it physically. My favourite books in this universe are The Deal, The Score, and The Risk in Briar U as well. And this is basically a college romance series set around the ice skating world. So all of the main characters, at least one of them, is an ice skater. In this one, Dean is a big playboy and Ali is Hannah's best friend. Hannah is the main girl in The Deal, and at the start of this book, Ali has broken up with her boyfriend and Dean kind of helps her with that, but they start to have some intimacy and feelings start to develop, but it's a secret from everybody else, so nobody else knows. I think you're in her space. I don't think she wants you to sit so close to her, Abs. Oh. Stop it. Get down. Gosh. I don't think she wants me to get back into reading. I think she was enjoying me in my reading slump. For you. So I think I spoke to you on Friday after work, and it is now Monday lunchtime, and well, I would love to say that I finished this book in that time. I haven't. This is the start of the reading slump video. We're obviously not out of the reading slump yet, but I am happy with the progress that I have made. I made it 150 pages through, which for 3 days of reading is not amazing, obviously, about 50 pages a day, but it is so much more than I have been reading for the past however long. So I'm happy. It feels like a win and like we're moving in the right direction. I will say I'm very excited to finish this and move on to something else because I'm enjoying it, but I'm not feeling super invested. I guess obviously I know what happens, and yeah, I don't know. I purposely picked this book because it's not an absolute favourite book, but it's a book that I liked enough that I figured I could read it a second time. I do think the off-campus Briar U series are, sorry if you can hear Albie walking around, are in general just good palette cleansers, and I feel like that is kind of what it is. It's what it's giving. I don't know where I'm gonna go from here. I don't know what kind of book I'm gonna read. Maybe another romance. I feel like I'm not quite ready to dip my toe back into fantasy. That feels a little bit overwhelming to me, so I don't know if we'll go for another romance. I don't know if we'll go for a thriller. Maybe that could be a good option. I usually find thrillers pretty good when I'm in a reading slump. I just don't necessarily have any to read. I do have one, but it's a hardback, and I don't ever want to read a hardback at the moment. I've still got over half of this book to go, so I'm not going to finish it probably anytime soon. It's a little bit weird reading this one because I don't really have thoughts to tell you because it's a reread. I already have my kind of thoughts on this book. I'll say I'm probably enjoying it slightly less the second time, which I think is normal for a book like this that you reread, because it doesn't have any suspense. Like, as I said, I know exactly what's going to happen. I like this romance, I do, but it's not my absolute favourite. Also, so far it's very surface level. Their whole romance is basically about sex. I don't know if I felt that way about this at this point in the book when I first read it. I feel like I remember being obsessed with the romance, but this time around the yearning and angst and stuff is just not quite there for me. It's very surface level, as I said. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the book because that's not what this is really about. This is kind of more about me and my reading slump. Gosh, that sounded very self-centered, but yeah, this video is all about me. Also, on that note, since I've admitted that this is about me, if you can see like this situation here, I have got some eczema on my eyelid and it's really annoying. I think I've got it a bit on both, but like mainly this one, and it's just, it doesn't look good. And I thought about putting some makeup on to cover it up, but I think the best thing to do is kind of just to let it heal. So it is what it is. I'm sorry if it looks ugly. Anyway, in terms of the reading slump, I'm definitely feeling a little bit more compelled to pick up and read. I'm still not thinking that I desperately want to read every minute of the day, but I'm finding myself picking up and reading a few chapters outside of just before bed. So that is good. I think it definitely did help that this weekend the Ryder Cup was on and Ollie was actually away for some of the weekend, but like Friday night and Sunday evening we were both like at home together and he was watching the Ryder Cup and that was kind of like perfect. If your boyfriend watches golf at all, it is like the perfect sport to have on in the background because it really is not very interesting. So it's just like perfect little background noise that you just do not listen to at all, and it's a really good setting for reading because it's also very calming and relaxing. Although the Ryder Cup yesterday, the final like day, the final round of the Ryder Cup, actually did get a bit stressful, and then I actually did put my book down and watch it for like the last 2 hours because it was a little bit crazy. But nobody cares about the Ryder Cup here, I'm sure, so I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, that's my updates, and hopefully it won't be too long before I speak to you again and I have made some progress. Guys, I finished my book yesterday, and I think that means it took me just under 2 weeks to read, which is not great. I purposely picked this book up to reread because I thought this is obviously a book that I can read in like 2 days, yet it took me 2 weeks. So we're definitely still deep in the reading slump, but that's the first book that I finished since August. It's a win. I didn't love it, I have to say. I still haven't looked what I rated it the first time I read it, but I would give it 3 stars now. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was pretty meh. There were some parts that I liked and then some parts I just didn't like. There is a lot of sex in that book. Like, too much, if you ask me. Okay, I gave it 4 stars originally, and now I would lower that to 3 stars. And I don't really want to talk about this book because it was a reread. It's obviously a really old book. I just don't have it in me to talk about it. But I read it. I read a book. So that's good. And Wednesday at the gym, I decided, why not try and make getting back into the gym a little bit more bearable for myself? Why don't I also use it to like get me out of my reading slump a little bit? Because if there's one thing I want to do less than reading. Sorry about that. As you can see, my sister has just got herself a Subway delivered, even though it's literally at the end of the road. She could have walked. Were you going to walk with me? I'm not having a Subway. Anyway, yeah, I kind of thought if there's one thing I want to do less than reading, it's exercise. Yes, that's annoying.
Sorry.
So at the end of my workout on Wednesday on the Stairmaster, I decided to do some reading, and obviously I was not going to take this book and read this on the Stairmaster because, well, I could if I was a braver person, but come on, this is just not a book to be reading in public, to be honest. And also it's easier to read on a Kindle or Kobo. I had a look at what was available on my library. Actually, no, I had a hold on this and it came in and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start it. So I started Deep Cuts by Holly Brickley. Now I feel like this, when it first came out, it was like trending, but then I only really saw bad things about it. But it kind of intrigued me. It's a bit of a music style romance, which I always quite enjoy those. And also I think it might be a bit toxic, which my favourite kind of romance is toxic romance to read about, not in real life. So that's what I started, and I got 10% in, and it says I only have 4 hours to go. So I think it must be quite a short book. And I was enjoying it. Honestly, it got me through the Stairmaster. I did an extra 5 minutes than what I had planned to do because I just wanted to read another chapter. So that is a good sign. However, I haven't picked it up yet since. I wanted to focus on finishing this. And then yesterday, after I finished this, I went to see a performance of Grease, which was interesting. Anyways, there was no time for reading last night. So I'm hopefully going to get some reading done today. It's Friday today. And then obviously I have the weekend. I'm not actually the best at reading at the weekend. That's never been great for me, to be honest. Maybe this weekend will be different. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking to you now because I feel like this is not the ideal environment with my sister munching on her sandwich over there and making a lot of noise. Hopefully we get through this one quickly. And then where do we go from here? I don't know. I kind of want to read a thriller because they're always really good for reading slumps. But also there's so many fantasies that I really want to read. And romances. There's some romances that I really want to get to as well. And my book club, we are going to be reading the new Lyla Sage book. I can't remember what it's called. Soul Searching, that's what it's called. And I have not read any Lyla Sage books, but my friend said we needed to read a bit of like a witchy small town romance vibe. And I found that one. And I know that people really enjoy Lyla Sage books. So I'm hoping it's good. I feel like it's literally just come out, so I've not really heard anything about it just yet. Hopefully it's good, and I know I need to read that over the next few weeks. I don't actually know when we're doing book club, so I need to find out and then decide when I need to read it, because at this rate, if it's taken me a good 2 weeks to read a book, I probably need to be reading it now. But hopefully this reading slump ends and I can start to get back to normal. And I will try to pick up the camera a bit more than I have been. But like, I'm just kind of treating this like a diary entry vlog because I can't be filming every single day because this video would then be hours and hours long because it seems to be going on for quite a long time. So yeah. I woke up this morning really in the mood to read, which makes a real change because that has just not been the case recently. Let's move actually, I feel like the washing machine's really loud. Okay, hopefully that's quieter. And I have been enjoying reading this book, which is very different to how I felt with the last book, The Score. Like, I just didn't really want to read that. When I'm reading this one, I'm really enjoying it, but I've still not necessarily, most of the time, felt in the mood to just sit and read. I've mainly been reading it at the gym on the Stairmaster and in bed. Those are the main times I've really been reading. But I woke up today and I just thought, I'm actually really in the mood to just carry on reading it. So I guess I'm gonna go with that feeling because I don't know when it's next gonna hit. And yeah, it's a nice feeling to be feeling in the mood to read. Please excuse my appearance, I just got back from a dog walk. I have to say, although I am enjoying the book, I absolutely hate Jo, our male main character, and I'm not even a big fan of our female main character, to be honest. She's a bit annoying as well. So yeah, it's a weird one to be kind of enjoying the book but at the same time really not liking or connecting with the characters at all. But I'm still having a good time with that. I like the kind of just vibe of this kind of book. Like, it's a bit toxic, messy, it's not written in any kind of romantic way. I don't think it is classed as a romance, I think it's a fiction book. And I actually really enjoy fiction book writing that is focused on relationships. I think that is like some of my favourite writing. I have just finished work and excuse the way that I look, I've also just walked the dogs and I want to cozy up, do some reading and talk to you about books, but I first need to tackle all of this. Also, the other day I decided to take my Hoover apart and completely clean it for the first time ever, and all of these things are looking nice and clean now. Okay, that's not perfect, but pretty clean. But my issue now is I need to try and remember how to put it back together. So let's get this stuff done and then we can talk books. Why is one of the saddest things ever when you realise that you didn't drink the cup of tea you made in the morning? Like, I feel so sad for past me. Kind of looks like I did drink it on camera, but I swear it's like half full. So definitely need to make another cup of tea before we do anything else. Also, I was not doing a full clean there, by the way, don't judge me. This is not my version of cleaning. I was just tidying up the kitchen and putting the hoover back together and testing the hoover, and then I hoovered the stairs because I didn't get to do that before I cleaned the hoover because it stopped working because it needed cleaning. Where to sit, where to sit. Okay. Hello. I really can't hear myself very well talking to you with these headphones on, but I feel like these headphones are my like only source of protection against how disgusting I look right now. I'm just gonna have to take them off because I can't talk with them on. So excuse the fact I now look like an 11-year-old boy. I did it, guys. I finished Deep Cuts yesterday, which I don't know exactly how long it took me to read it. Look, it was longer than it needed to take me, but I just had some days where I just didn't read. And I mainly just read it in bed or at the gym, so maybe I need to go to the gym a bit more often. Okay, it took me 12 days to read it. I don't think that's really much of an improvement. I really thought it didn't take me that long. That's really knocked me. Okay, but I finished it. And I, on Fable, gave it 3.25 stars. On Goodreads, I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it in some ways, but I just found the characters really annoying, and the romance I was just not on board with. Like, I just don't think that they should have been together. That just ruined it a little bit for me. Like, I don't mind unlikable characters, but they have to have some character growth. And I just don't really feel like we got that. Especially with Joe, I feel like we really needed to see some character growth, but like every time we saw him, he was just the same. Oh, he was such a jerk. I really did not like Joe. For saying that, I feel like it was a good book for me to read because it was quite easy to read. I kind of really enjoyed the music vibes. I'm really not like, I like music, but I'm not a music geek. Like, there were loads of things going way over my head here. Other than the like Fleetwood Mac stuff. I feel like that was the only stuff that I really knew anything about. So most of it was going over my head, but I enjoyed it. Also, one of my favourite things was the trendsetters and then turning them into influencers. That was funny because when I first saw them I was like, trendsetters, I was like, isn't that just like an influencer? I wonder if that's accurate. Like, is that how influencers became a thing? I don't know. And if you've not read this book, I'm probably making no sense to you, and I really don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm not going to explain what I'm talking about. But if I didn't already say what this book is, it's a fiction book following, well, we mainly have one main character, our female main character, but it very heavily revolves around her relationship with Joe. And she meets him at college and he is a musician and she helps him with his music, but she is not in the music industry herself. But yeah, it kind of goes from there and we followed them into adulthood. As I said, it's definitely a fiction book and I would definitely recommend it more to fiction readers than purely romance readers because it's not a typical romance book. I mean, it's not a romance book, but sometimes obviously when a fiction book is about a romance, it's kind of easy to think, oh, well, I love romance, so I'll like that. No, you won't necessarily like this just because it has romance in it and follows a romance. It's very much not written like a romance, and there is not, you know, stuff to swoon over in this book. I now need to start my next book. I don't know if I already spoke to you about this, but I have a book club on Sunday. It is Wednesday today. One of my friends has already finished the book. I don't know if the other one has actually started it yet, but she may have. And I kind of need to get on with reading it. So that book is Soul Searching by Soul Searching by Lyla Sage. And I suggested this one because they wanted like spooky, small town vibe, Halloween-y, cozy romance, which was a really hard brief if I'm honest, but I thought that this one would be good because this is a small town romance and it kind of has some like Halloween-y themes. I think is there some like ghosts maybe? Something like that. I've never read a Lyla Sage book, but I know lots of people like her, is it called Rebel Blue Ranch series? I think it's like a country romance series. Country? Is that what those kind of books are called? Yeah, it must be, yeah, a country romance series. But I don't know, I've just never felt compelled to pick those up. I feel like people who love Chestnut Springs, like they're kind of like linked. People say if you love Chestnut Springs, maybe read that series. I really enjoyed some books in Chestnut Springs, but not like all of them. And it's the kind of thing that like I don't want too much of, those kind of books personally. They're not my absolute favourites, but they are good like palette cleansers and fun to read every now and again. But like that is not what most of my reading is made up of, or what I want it to be made up of. So I haven't read it, but if I like her writing, then maybe I could read it in the future. So we're gonna see how we go with this one. I'm actually just gonna buy it on my Kobo because it's not available through the library. I have cancelled my Kindle Unlimited, which I'm very grateful to myself that I did that because, as you know, I've not really been reading over the last few months. I've not been getting my money's worth, and to be honest, I kind of think, am I ever getting my money's worth with Kindle Unlimited? Because I think because I don't purely read Kindle Unlimited books, I just think that like maybe it's not the best financial investment for me. But then at the same time, it is really annoying when I have to buy an ebook that is on Kindle Unlimited. I don't really buy ebooks that often, but I'm kind of telling myself, why don't you just try and buy the books on Kindle or Kobo that you want to read and see how it goes, and then if you find that you are spending more money than you were with Kindle Unlimited, then go back to Kindle Unlimited. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna buy it on my Kobo because it's the same price on Kindle and Kobo, and you know I'm a Kobo queen these days. I'm really enjoying reading on my Kobo, so why not? It's $5.99 though, and I'm pretty sure you can get the actual book from the Works for $5.99, but that would involve like going to the Works, which I just do not have in me. Okay, I now have it on my Kobo and I'm going to maybe get some cozy vibes going. Got my cup of tea and we're gonna give this a go. Get a good little reading session in before Ollie probably calls me on his way home from work. Okay, at some point I felt like I was flying through this book, but I have not really made much progress. I am 45% through. But that also feels like a lot of progress for kind of how much time I feel like I've actually read. I'm enjoying it though. I'm enjoying the vibes. I feel like the ghosty aspect is just like a little fun bit on the side, and I'm really liking the romance. I think I said before, but these are definitely not my go-to books. Like these are not books that I read loads of because I just find that they all get a bit samey, but it has been a while, I feel like, since I've read a book like this, and I'm enjoying it. It's a fun time. I actually am about to go to book club and I'm not really sure how far everyone has progressed through it. I'm pretty sure Flo started it last night or this morning. So I doubt she's that far through. And then Charlotte, I know she has finished actually, and she's now nearly finished another book. She's flying through books. She's putting me to shame at the moment. So I'm not sure what book club is actually going to consist of today, because normally we're kind of all at the same point, so we can either talk about it or read it together. So I'm not sure what is going to happen at the book club. I'm not going to lie, book club often turns into just a chat and a catch up, but it's nice, and we do talk a little bit about the books and sometimes do a little bit of reading as well. So yeah, I'm just waiting to go to that because I am ready, but I don't want to go too early. My hair is still wet, so I could have spent more time, you know, making myself look presentable, but it's a Sunday. I'm just here to be cozy, comfortable, and that is about it. But I'm going to bring you guys along.
You know, Johnson and Anne Hathaway, isn't it?
Yes.
Anne Hathaway's Verity.
And then the man in the middle. To be fair, the man, that is how I imagine. That's how I imagine Jeremy. Josh Hartnett.
Oh, wait, isn't he quite
Oh.
sexy?
Show me him. Josh Hartnett from Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
Oh.
That is how I imagine Jeremy.
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, he's in Pearl Harbor.
But then the
He's
old
47. He is in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Where's that
One of my favourite films.
Is it?
Really?
I love Pearl Harbor.
I don't think I've ever seen him.
It's so good. The romance. It's heartbreaking.
That's actually front and centre of the video now.
So,
You'll cry a million tears.
I will watch
Such
it
a good
eventually.
film.
I also, is the main character, is she meant to be likeable? Because I don't like her.
I mean, these mini ones are a bad invention, really. They ruin the point of pushing them off.
Maisie, you brought nothing.
I know. Excuse this terrible lighting, but we're getting there, guys. My bath had to be cut short because there were some fireworks and I'm home alone, and Albie started going crazy, jumping up, scratching the fridge, and I was honestly scared they would fall on top of him if I didn't get out of the bath. So I had to get out of the bath. I am now 72% through this book. It says an hour to go, but I think that means like under 2 hours, like an hour and something, I'm assuming. This book is very much giving me Rose Hill vibes. Like, I would think that anybody who liked Rose Hill and wanted something similar would enjoy this book if they picked it up. Having said that, it is another small town series of like interconnected standalones, I think, similar to Rose Hill. This is the only book out so far, but it doesn't have that same found family feeling yet anyway. That could come because this is literally just book one, but so far we don't really have the found family, big group of friends scenario. I am enjoying it. I would say our male main character is not my perfect male main character. He's not my cup of tea. You know what? He probably would be my cup of tea in real life, but in a book setting, he is maybe a little bit too nice for me. But I'm still having a good time. I'm still enjoying it, and I'm very excited to finish it. I'm hoping I should get it finished. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow, and then we can start another book. I don't know where I'm going to go. This, I don't know if I've ever said on this vlog, but this is the book that I was actually reading and I kind of gave up halfway, and that's when I decided to read The Score, because I was just hardly reading anything every night and I felt like I was ruining this book. Did you hear the fireworks? Because Albie did. Yeah, I felt like I was ruining it, and this is the last book in the it's called The Blood Traitor. This is the last book in the Prison Healer series, and I just didn't want to ruin it for myself. So I don't know, maybe when I finish this I will go back to this, but I don't know where to go from it because I don't necessarily want to start again from the beginning because I am literally 220 pages into this book. Like I'm over halfway or about halfway through. I don't really want to start again, but I don't know if I've like paid enough attention or like remember enough from the first 200 pages of this book to keep going. I think I do pretty much remember, so maybe I can just pick it up and keep going, but we will see. That will probably be in the next Reading Slump Diaries video because I feel like I've been filming this one for so long and it needs to end. So I'm thinking we will finish this book and then we will end this vlog and then I will start another reading vlog which will be a continuation of the Reading Slump Diaries, and hopefully by the end of the next one maybe I'll be out of my reading slump. Fingers crossed, we will see. And I also have sorted out some things today to film another video which I've been meaning to film for a long time, but I just needed to sort some stuff out for it. But I have now done that, so I'm hoping I will film that over the next couple of days as well, and then over the weekend get editing this video and that one, and finally get some videos back out for you guys because this is ridiculous how long I have been absent. I did try filming like a spend a week with me kind of video, but I don't think I'm going to do anything with those clips because I haven't watched them, I haven't tried to edit them together, but I just have a feeling that they're giving absolutely nothing. So yeah, I don't know if anything's going to happen with those. If you do want to see some of those kind of videos, then let me know, even though my life is very boring. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have that much to share with you, unfortunately. Okay, I'm gonna go and put the TV on to hopefully hide these fireworks, and yeah, if anyone else has a dog at the moment and is experiencing all of these fireworks ever since Diwali, because there's Diwali and then it's the lead up to bonfire night, and yeah, there's just been continuous fireworks every night basically, and Owie is absolutely petrified. Willow literally, let me show you her, couldn't care less. In fact, we have even taken her on some evening walks when there's been fireworks and she doesn't bat an eyelid, she literally doesn't care. It's very strange, and it annoys me when people say you need to just desensitize your dog to them and they'll be fine. Like, we haven't done anything different with both of these. Like, when they were puppies, they both had, like, we played the like fireworks sound to get them used to it, and you know, if it's on TV, if it's a sound, he doesn't react, but there's something about when it's outside in real life that like he reacts very differently, and it's terrible, and it's obviously just different dogs are different and it's not the owner's fault, so let's not blame dog owners for having dogs that are scared of fireworks. Okay, I can't remember what day it was that I last spoke to you. 2 days ago? On Thursday? Tuesday, must have been Tuesday when I last spoke to you, and I actually did end up finishing soul searching that night, which, wow, I'm impressed with myself. So yeah, I finished it and I've given it on Fable 3.25 stars. On Goodreads I gave it 3 stars, but I do think it's a bit higher than 3 stars, but it's not 3.5 stars. Definitely nowhere near 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. It was cozy. It was honestly kind of the perfect book to read. I wasn't addicted to it. I didn't absolutely love it, but I think it was a really good, I want to call it a palate cleanser, because I think if I was in any other reading mood other than a slump, that's exactly what this would have been for me, a perfect palate cleanser. Why can't I say palate? Palate cleanser. But because of my current situation, it wasn't necessarily a palate cleanser, but it kind of was exactly what I needed. And yeah, 3.25 stars for this. I'm pretty sure I've been filming this video for over a month now. Obviously that's just kind of how it's gone with my reading slump and still being, let's be honest, quite firmly in a reading slump. That is a long time, and I have no idea how much I've filmed, so I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm hoping that it is going to be long enough, but I don't know. But this should be the end of part 1 of this video, but I am going to continue on now with part 2 because I have already started another book. So hopefully this reading slump continues to go in the right direction and I continue to climb out of it, because I do feel like I am climbing out of it. I'm feeling better about reading. Like, I feel myself romanticizing reading a little bit more again now, which is nice. So hopefully the next video will not be as long a wait as this one was. I do have something else planned to film as well that will be up probably in between part 1 and 2 of this video, and then I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to normal business. We will see how it goes, so don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see part 2 and how this goes. Don't forget to like and leave a comment on this video down below as well, that really helps me. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it's been such a long time. Hopefully now through the month of November I will be back to weekly uploads, so please let me know if there's anything particular that you would like to see from me. And yeah, thank you if you've got till the end of this video. I imagine it wasn't easy.